I think my parents see me as an American child. I think, yes, they recognize the distance between us. And sometimes it hurts. I think it hurt a lot when I was younger, where I'm just like, oh, I feel as if there's some type of space between me and my parents. We would have not had the space had America not bombed the fuck out of Vietnam, or like had not intervened in Vietnam the way it's had, or France has not colonized Vietnam the way it has.
Could you tell us something about your family?
My dad and my mom are divorced, and so I think I have individual relationships with each part of my immediate family, between me, my dad, me, my sister, me, my mother. I think those singular relationships make up what I think are my family. I think how I describe my dad is like, I think he's very Vietnamese, and what I mean when I say that is like, I think it's definitely part of the refugee diaspora, and I think the words I would describe him is that like, he's Vietnamese, he's insane, he's a man, and he also loves me deeply. I recognize that there are spaces that we were going to disagree about. That's not solely like an American relationship where it's like, oh, I tell my father everything. Because that's not a possibility for me, unfortunately, as like an American daughter with a Vietnamese father. So I think my mother we actually look very similar. And she has always loved me. She's always rooted for me. She's always stayed on my side. Or at least like whenever I look in the mirror, I'm like, I am my mother. And so it's nice to see like history just in looking at each other, even just looking in the mirror, to feel the connection or feel the family. And so my sister, I think my sister's 24, she's older than me, I'm younger. And so I think she is like, of course, annoying and crazy, and like, I disagree with her all the time. And at the same time though, I'm also just like, she is who I could have been in another life. And that type of revelation makes me love her even more. We're sisters. Like, there's no Emily without a Diana. And so I think that's how I define all of my like individual relationships to my family. My parents see me as an American child, and I was born in America. I have like an American passport. And I think some ways you can see the American manifest is that like, I think I have the rights. Like, I think that's a very Western liberalism thing to say.
Yeah.
They're thankful that I'm an American child, because I think they're like, thank God you're not a Vietnamese child, because like they think about their own childhood and like, we suffered, we were struggling, and like we struggled hard. There's some things I can't talk about because of those things. They recognize the distance between us, and sometimes it hurts. I think it hurt a lot when I was younger, where I'm just like, oh, I feel as if there's some type of space between me and my parents. But I think what I'm trying to orient to is like thinking it as an invitation to rethink like other relationships, because like I think this space that we have here, I tie this back to the Vietnam War, to American imperialism, but how can I also take this as an invitation to be like, what else is out there, where I'm like, I love them. He's my father, and like, I know he loves me. He's weird and he's crazy and insane. He always yells at me, but he loves me, and I know that he will fight for me.